Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the Coach Todd Show, hosted by me, Coach Todd. I want to welcome everybody in. And first and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, man. Whew. Y'all got to put up with a lot, especially with people like me. Yeah, you got to put up with a lot, man. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to everybody. Let's get everyone in here real quick. And I'm going to repeat that once I get everybody in here. There we go. All right, so everyone's in here, man. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, guys and gals. I just want to say happy Mother's Day from me to you, man. We wouldn't be here without y'all. I mean, to be all the way honest, we wouldn't be doing half as good as we are without our mothers out here. And, happy Mother's Day. Like, for all the, like, I'm gonna talk about moms for here for a few seconds and before we get started with everything. But if you look back, who was always there? Mom was always there, from watching games that, some moms loved it. Some moms just did it just to show support and everything. And, those are the special times. As I look back on it, having my mom at my middle school games, my high school games, and some of my college games. As you play college, sometimes it's hard for moms to go to certain areas and everything. But she was always there anytime I needed her. I remember when I transferred out, my mom was the very first person to, when I went to where was I was in Ohio at the time. She sent me a care package. And I'll never forget, if y'all remember the Nike socks with the elite socks and all of that, my mom sent me a care package, happy as can be that, I was going somewhere else. And, that's the special things that we have with our moms, as my mom actually is getting older, she's up in age now, I kind of go back and think about like the times that we had, the times that, that we continue to have are, the small little things of watching movies. And, I remember me and her binge watched Breaking Bad, and, just the small things of just being there and being the one that, legitimately takes care of you. So, shout out to all the moms out there that is, really, really, really special to all of us. And, for you soon to be moms, man, for you soon to be moms out there, happy Mother's Day to you, the dog moms, any mom out there, man, happy Mother's Day to you. Hope today is an amazing day. I came on a little bit earlier, just the simple fact of I am going to go see my mother. So I got on around 9, wanting to get, the show going and make sure that, everyone, hops in. We'll talk some sports, but then we all go our separate ways from, with our moms. So let's get started. So I haven't been live since Mark Pope made his speech and, talking about the GM and everything. So that's kind of the first thing that, I want to talk about. We will be talking about Frank, the new recruit. We'll be, giving the pros and cons of him. But I want to talk about what, Mark Pope facing these questions, Mark Pope actually talking to us about, some things about the GM. Now, his words pretty much were, we're going to do it by committee. We're going to be doing it pretty much by a 4-person team. And the 4-person team, each person has a specific role, from, contract negotiations to the analytics side to all of that. And, do I think that is good? In my opinion, no, I don't. And that's just me being honest. But this is his program. This is what he wants to do with it. I can give my opinions, but if this is how he wants to run, but I just don't understand what is the problem with actually having a GM. Now, we could say, 4 heads is better than 1, but the person that I would, think as the GM is used to making these deals, is used to making, these, demands from agents and, kind of calming the fires down a little bit. So I don't understand where that is going. Now, I can go farther back to the 14 out of 20 players that has came through this program. Now, we could say a lot of things. We could say, hey, this is due to, maybe money, they didn't want to come here. They want to use this leverage. We can use all of that, and that's perfectly fine. And I have no problem with that. But if those players were coming through and we have this four-headed monster or whatnot of, this group by council or whatever you want to call it, shouldn't it have worked? Shouldn't this, this evolution of, the GM role and everything, shouldn't that have worked? If we had the analytics, we had everything. Now, we definitely have the money. That's no issue. We have the money, and we all know that. But I don't understand where they think that this is a good sign. I mean, this is a good thing. If we have somebody that is a strict negotiator for the NIL deals and all of that, then why in the world are we getting used? That's where I say the GM would be a lot better, because they know how to play muddy in the muddy waters of agents and all of that. In my opinion, I don't like this. I really think this is a bad thing. I think this is, a rough water that Mark Pope is treading in. Now, year 3 is like everyone has said, year 3 is the make or break year. We know that. And we talked about the last show, I do think this roster is a little bit better than last year's roster. And, we had our, discussions about that. But I don't understand where Mark Pope thinks that this is a good idea. This is your make or break year. And that at the end of the day, you're going to live and die. Well, not really die, but live, either see year 4 or walk through that door and go somewhere else. That. This is it. And if this is how he wants to go down, cool. If this is how he wants to play this, even better. But when Keegan Brown tweeted out, and hey, thank you so much for the likes. When Keegan Brown tweeted out this, and it didn't rub me the wrong way, but it was kind of like, ugh. And this is what Keegan says. Matter of fact, here, we'll all look at it together. Give me 1 second here. We'll all look at it together. Okay, so Keegan Brown pretty much says, it's been a whirlwind in a month and a half that I've been here, but super grateful to be working with Coach Pope and this team of incredible people. To give more insight on my role, the analytics is just the foundation for me. Every day I'm talking to agents, building player projection models, running cap models with Nick, managing contracts, start to finish, grinding film, and building systems that power our front office. Blessed to be doing it at Kentucky. Okay, that is great. Whoops, my bad. That is great that you are doing that. And that's perfectly fine. But you can't tell me that someone like Keegan is going to be in the negotiating rooms, negotiating contracts. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that now I know that the NIL, I don't want to be disrespectful one bit. I forgot her name, and I do not want to be disrespectful. Let me pull up the team that they have. And like I said, I don't want to be very, disrespectful for the NIL team. Let me see if I can find the team. Because she works with JMI. She's a part of the JMI team that I still have a weird feeling about JMI. People can say, JMI is good. People can say this and that. But I still just have a weird feeling about JMI. There's something more to that we don't know. Now, I do know that they did tweak some things in the good for the JMI, and the sponsor and the NIL. I do know that they did that, but guys, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Well, since you said it, fine. LJ, thank you so much for the follow. I just, if this is the group that they're sending out there to get this top level talent, then why aren't we landing some of this top level talent now? We can say that, yes, it could be Pope. We can say some of these things, and we don't know what's going on. Season ticket holder here. We better be good this year. Hey, for your sake, what we talk about for basketball or football? Football, I would love to be a season ticket holder for football this year. I've went to one football game. I've went to one football game. That's it. I've been in Kentucky for about 10 years. One game. Yeah, one football game, and I think maybe 2 tailgates. Kentucky is a football school now. Okay. I probably live without giving any information. I probably live like 30 minutes from the football stadium. Football. Nah, I can't say it's a football school now. Hold up. D, thank you so much for the share. I can't say it's a football school. I cannot say that yet. Listen, I want the football team to do great. But I don't watch much of the football. I'll be all the way honest, I don't watch much. But that schedule's rough. That schedule's rough. Save the Tums and skip to next year's basketball. Jeez, hey guys, it's Mother's Day. We ain't supposed to be giving this out. It's Mother's Day. Come on. we look. Y'all ain't gonna hijack this today. D, thank you so much for the follow. Hey, y'all ain't gonna hijack this one today. I hope they do better this up. Well, we're gonna get to that. And like I said, I just don't like the 4-head combo that they have with the GM. I just don't like that. John, thank you so much for the follow. I don't like it. You could football 6-6. Oh God, they don't. Wait a second, Wireman, don't they have like one of the hardest schedules like in the nation? I want to say. Doesn't Kentucky like have the hardest schedule out there right now? Like one of them maybe. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't follow football like that, and I'm gonna follow football this year a little bit more than I did last year. But hey, like I said, I just don't like the 4-headed monster. I think you definitely need a GM. Like you have to have one. There's no reason why you can have the GM and you can have those 4 people that's doing the analytics, doing the marketing, doing whatever. I just picked 6-6 because it's over the best. I picked 6-6 and just hope for the best. Dang. So you telling me like if we're at the casino and I put 100 on black on the roulette table, hey, we're just hoping for the best to make it. I feel that 100%. But like I said, I don't like it. I don't like what I do like that they're being more vocal. Keegan's tweet was cool and everything, but that didn't give me didn't give me any more reassurance than Pope doing these videos. I'm sorry, it just did not. Him tweeting out that I do more than analytics, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay, cool, great. Thank you so much for doing more, but it didn't give me any more reassurance that this 4-headed monster is supposed to work. It's not going. It doesn't give me that, like, it kind of gives me the feeling of this is how I wanted. This is what it gives me the feeling of. This is how I'm going to do it. I don't care if you want a GM. I've got my analytic guys here. What up, Cam? What up, big dog? I've got this, and I don't care that you want a GM. I've got 4 people that are working hard to give us what we need. Well, 14 out of 20 players that came through this. Now, I don't even count Tyron Stokes. I don't count Tyron Stokes because we know that was something else. But out of the 14 out of 20 players, you're going to give me 0? And you're supposed to tell me this is going to work? Now, mind you, Keegan did come in, a little bit too late and is kind of on the tail end of things. I get that. I understand that part. By the time he came on, it was already too late. We all know there was already rumblings and talks and deals already made before the season was over. So him getting on around that time, it was just a bad time. Now I don't think that if Pope makes it to next year. Let's just say Pope does make it to next year. That's going to tell me something. Is this, four-headed, GM squad actually going to work? It's going to be hard to see. And I don't know if this squad that Mark Pope has right now is going to get him to a year 3. Now, I do like it. And we're going to talk about Frank here in a second. We're going to talk about him getting coming on to the team, which I think is a good pickup, even though he's about the same age as all of us and on his 7th year. But I think it is a good pickup. But I don't know if this team is going to get Pope to next year. I just don't. But I do believe this. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If Mark Pope gets to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, he'll be back next year. Now, a lot of people does not want to hear that. Frank the God bless. Wireman, how much money are you willing to bet that we will see those t-shirts already marketed by what? Big Blue Madness? How much money you want to bet? How much money you want to bet? Now, all right, let's go ahead and get to Frank. Let's go ahead and get to Frank. Frank, let's go ahead and pull up Frank's stats real quick. I like this pickup, guys. I do like the pickup. This is actually something we really needed. We do need a, a backup big. He does have a motor. He does have a motor. He has, he kind of gives me that, like that junkyard dog where he's just going to go out there and play balls to the wall and not worry about the consequence. I like that. You need somebody on your team like that. And you need somebody on your team that I might start the Facebook page today. Oh my God. Hey, I swear, UK Athletics is going to call you and it's going to ask you, we're going to pay you a nice lump sum. Hey, go ahead and do it. Please do it. I like the pickup because now we're hearing that Marino, is low first round. I do, unless he's hopping up, lottery to make mid. I see him coming back. I just see him coming back. In all actuality, I do think that he makes more money coming back to Kentucky than he would make more money coming back. That's just my opinion. Low first round, second, you're not guaranteed money. Low first round, you're definitely making more at Kentucky than you will at as a low first round pick. He probably has an MP. Hey man, I'm trying to tell you. Hey, that man's got a 401k, a mortgage, and a goat and a dog. That man's got it all. But last year, played at Washington, 6.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, shot roughly around 50% from the field. But what that does not tell you is his motor. And, people are saying, hey, look at the highlights. Look at him do this. Look at him do that. And highlights is great. Highlights is amazing. Everyone has a highlight page. Everyone has a highlight reel and all of that. And that's great. But it's the small things that he does that is going to be good for this team. He didn't have the best shooting percentage kind of near the basket, but what I think is going to be even better is you're still going to play with Zoom. And I think we don't really need him to score like that. We need him to be that defensive presence, block the shots, do the dirty work while Marino is out. Once he comes in, I think that is a great spot for him, and I think this is a W for us. The glaring issue, in my opinion, this is the glaring issue that kind of scares me is we need another scorer. We need a small forward. We need a star that can score the ball. Now, I do believe Alex can do that, but we need a second player that can do that. We need that player that will go out there and just free up a little bit of the offense. What I mean by that is if I know Alex can score and I know Zoom is going to be able to get into the lane, I can play a better scheme off those two than somebody that I know that's going to go out there and try to get 20 points. Then now I can free up Alex. I can let Zoom kind of do his thing. I think that's where we're kind of going to get in a little bit of trouble. With Jerome Morton coming off the bench, being a solid guard, shooting is still not where I want it to be. And that is a little bit troublesome for me. I need a little bit more shooting. Because, I mean, if you know this team can't shoot that well, what are you going to do? You're going to hug off of it. If I know the same way they kind of played John Wall, they knew John Wall couldn't shoot as well. So what did they wind up doing? They wind up, backing back and using his speed against him per se. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they fill these last two spots at. We always talking about the guy from, Iowa State. We'll see how that goes. That would be amazing, but I'm not holding my breath yet because, we always kind of get right there to the cusp of it. And then we wind up they go somewhere else. So I'm not getting my hopes up. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, this is the team that we're going to run out there with. But I mean, in my opinion, I think this is a solid pickup. This is something we need, and we're going to check out a couple of the highlights. Everyone likes watching the highlights and watching all of that. So we're going to hop over here and watch kind of what makes him go. Pull this up real quick. Hold up here. All right.
Well, this was a surprise.
Hold on one second here. All right, let's check it out. I think that's kind of what we're going to get a lot of, honestly. And I think that's going to be good. They'll probably put him in some pick and roll scenarios where he is running straight to the basket because he's an athletic guy. So I think we'll see a lot of this with him while he's in. Getting up and down the court, 6'11". If you actually look at the team is kind of based long and athletic. I'll pull up, their height differential. They're going to be long and athletic. Let's not doubt that. Only thing that kind of scares me about him is the hands. This is the only thing that kind of scares me about him is his hands. His hands he's a little bit uncoordinated, just a tad. Just a tad, honestly, to be honest. This roster is solid, but it's not a follow. Must add a star. It really could use a guy that stands around and makes pretty much. Yeah, 100%, Warren. 100%. This team right here. And, call me a hater. This team is not an SEC championship team. This team is not a Final Four team. This team is a team that could surprise some teams in the SEC tournament, maybe the NCAA. My opinion, the ceiling could be, depending on how it goes, depending on how this is, I could probably say, if this is the team we get, ceiling would be second round, maybe second round, maybe the second weekend, maybe. If this is the team we get right now, we have to see them play together. I'm just going by what we have on paper. That's just my thoughts. But like right here, like watch this. What? I mean, hands, I'm kind of worried about that a little bit. But what I do like about his game, I like it. I think we'll see some of the, I do look, just athletic. Boom, get up. I like it. I do like that. I do. And I like that he calls for the ball. He calls for give me that thing. That's what I like that. That's a good thing. Now, guys, now listen. If he can hit this consistently, great. But I don't think a fadeaway. I don't think these are the shots we want him to take. Right here, boom. I don't know if I want him taking that consistently. That's just my thoughts. Boom. I don't need him taking that. Now, this is what I do want him to do. This is where the athleticism comes into play. Boom. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it, big fella. Anything off that rim, from offense to defense, I want you to go get it. That would be my main thing for Mark Pope to tell him. Anything off that rim, you go grab. I remember when I played, Wireman knows this. I remember when I played, when we played against Moorhead, and I actually got to watch Kenneth Faried go get it. Now, Kenneth Faried played for Moorhead State University. Then he went and had a pretty solid NBA career, and then went overseas. And finished his career out over there. I don't know if he's still over there or not. I'm not for sure. But one thing about Kenneth Faried was he had a motor. That young man had a motor that was unmatched. If that ball was off the rim, he was going to go get it. And it didn't matter where it was. Mike, thank you so much for the follow. It didn't matter if it was touching Jesus's knees. He was going to go up there and get it. It just didn't matter. That man had a motor unlike anybody that I've seen. Same thing with this. This guy, Mark Pope, you want him to go get anything and everything. If that ball bounces off and hits the McDonald's logo over there, you go get that thing. That's what you need. He needs to be the most hated person when he comes onto the court. This is what just like this. Soon as it's off the rim, boom. I want in the scouting report, when they're writing in the scouting report, when it's Kentucky, when you're playing against Kentucky, box him out. That's what it needs to be. Box him out, put a body on him. If not, he's going to go get it. That's what I want. That's what I want to see from him this year. And that's what we need him to be. Now look at the stride. As soon as he starts right here, as soon as he sees it, he's already chasing down. Watch the stride change. Boom. Long steps. Go get it. That's what we need. This is what if he can give this in spurts. I want him to be dead tired by the time he comes to the bench. By the time Marino is ready to come back, this young man needs to be dead tired because he gave 120%. Now, we can say, hey, Ty, he has injuries. Be careful. You're right. He does. He has injury. He's been injury prone. But guess what? We're not worried about that. We're worried about right now. Only thing that does worry me is if he was, let's not put that in the atmosphere, but if he was, Reese Potter would technically be the backup. And yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Thompson, thank you so much for the follow. But this is, these are like things like this is intangibles that you can't teach. And what I mean by can't teach is you can teach somebody to dribble. You can teach somebody to shoot. There's two things you can't teach somebody: heart and hustle. And hustle right here to chase down this block is huge. I like that. There's two things, like I said, there's two things you cannot teach. And that's one of them. Like, watch. All right, well, shoot. Oh, go get it. Go get him. Go get him. Chase him. Pop. I love that. I love that. Same thing here. And honestly, he has great timing coming off the floor. He has amazing timing. It's one thing to block, but when you have to time the block of, chase down or watching somebody, but you have to be the first one off the floor at times. Sometimes. Watch. Boom. I like that. Staying in the play. Go. See. Right here. I don't. This is the only. It's okay. This is one thing I wish he would do right here. Boom. He's filling him on the right side. Right side. Boom. A little bit of push. Get good. Nice. Like that's things that that's intangibles that you can't teach a lot of times that I'll do like. Like right here, boom, go get that loose ball. And one thing I do like that he does a little bit better than Marino, just looking at it right here. You see how Zero's trying to swipe at the ball right here? Boom. Nah, he ain't gonna let it go. Nah, you ain't gonna swipe at that. I like that. I like that power, strength. Yes, he is a little bit older, but watch right here. We're going up. Now, keeping that ball close and tight, because if I have the ball, okay, let me full camera real quick. If I have the ball here, it's so much easier to swipe than having it here, bringing it up. If I have to swipe down, I'm going to hit the ball. But if I'm here, you got to swipe through me, and I'm going straight up. That's one thing that I'll do. I like. That's just grown man basketball. Right here. Just what I wanted to see. Just what I wanted to see right here. Watch this. Now, excuse my language. As a matter of fact, I'll call him a small guy. We called him something else, but small guy on me, per se. Get your butt down. Go get it. That's what you want. Like I said, I want somebody in there that is going to be and this is what I think Marino needs to learn too. And he's going to be perfect, Marino, because he's going to be that bully. And that's what I want. That's what I want him to be. I want him to be a bully down there that literally does this. Get your little butt out of my way. What's wrong with you? Look at him on the ground. Look at him on the ground. Throwing his hands up like, come on, man. No foul. Come on, man. That's the person I want on my team. Now, mind you, you can say, well, Todd, that's dirty basketball. No. When you're down there mud wrestling with them big, ugly guys, when I was taught, when you're down there mud wrestling, you got to get dirty. You got to get dirty, and this is what it is. You got to be dirty. That's exactly what I want right there. Boom. Give me that ball. Get up there. That's what, and low key, this is what I want Marino to do at times. That's what I want him to do. I would love for him to get to that point. A little bit of confusion right here, but that's all right. We're fine with that. A little confusion, Power dribble. It's kind of like a gather. Boom. Up. Like it. Now, mind you, on this play, I do wish here we got to a little bit to the, over here, but hey, it worked out. Let's just say it worked out. Nothing easy. That's one thing that I want to see as well, is nothing easy at the basket. Nothing easy that I don't want. If you're coming out, y'all remember the Bad Boys? We remember the Bad Boys. Anytime Michael went up, he's on the ground. This is the same thing I want to see with him and Kentucky. No easy baskets. There was too many easy layups last year, and this I don't want to see any easy layups. I want them to think that if they go up, they got to double think that somebody from somewhere is going to come and try to either block it or we're going to put you on your back. And this is what I want to see. Stuff like that no easy baskets. And that's where we got to get to. Look, no easy baskets. I'm not going to let you get that dunk. That's just hustle. That's hustle and heart right there that I really do enjoy when I see this. Another thing. Nothing easy. Boom. Nope. Oh, you think nah, get up out of here. And honestly, guys, I'm telling you all right here, when Marino comes back, he's going to make Marino so much better. because he has to go against this every day in practice. This grown butt man out here just literally throwing him around. Now, once he gets used to that, once Moreno gets used to that, that's just going to make him better. He's not going to be thrown on edge. And we said before, last show, that, Moreno did get tired toward that ending and, end of the season. And we saw, him kind of go downhill. But with someone like this that is pushing him every day in practice, this right here is exactly what they needed. Like, nothing easy. No easy baskets at all. I'm not giving you one easy thing. Now that is nice hands right here. This is good hands right here for this catch right here. Boom, in traffic. You got your itty bitty down here that's trying to poke it away. Good hands right here. Feel the bump right here. Boom. Gathering myself to go straight up. Easy. And you see 14 does not want one lick of anything to do with him. Look, I'm not jumping to him. And that's what we need. That's exactly what we need for the few minutes, for the minutes that he's in the game. Look. He said, look, he's second guessing life right now. He's like, okay, good job, big fella. Yeah. Look. Okay, you got it. You win, big fella. Then that's what we need. Run. Oh, you got to. I like that. I do like, he wasn't as good, or percentage wise right here, but I do like that. I think Pope, honestly, we can work on this. Pope can get this together. Kentucky took a break. They grow into new levels with this one. No, you're right. But Barman, I swear you're so right about this. And you're so right. I love it though. Nasty. Come on. You have Moreno that is out there shooting, finesseful and all of that. Then you got this monster coming in. Right then. Boom. Nice hard screens. Does not care one iota about contact. Boom. Get over here. 14 has had enough. Now, mind you, look, 14's like, yeah. 14's had a feel like, just like, I'm done. I don't want no more parts of this. I love it. If he can stay healthy and he can play this type of basketball for about 15, 20-ish minutes, depending on how long Pope, depends on what you need. If he can come in with this chip on his shoulder and ready to go, I think this is huge. I think this is very, very big, especially like this right here. Just, anything. I want him to be a little bit more nastier here. Now, mind you, that second jump I would like right here. Boom, go back up. But, he's falling backwards, so I can't. But the second jump right here. Boom. And then it'd be a little bit more balanced, but you're falling backwards, so you can't really. That's going to be a little bit more harder. See right here. Just, even if he does not block that shot, it's still the fact of you have to get it over that big's arm. That's a 6'11" big. He's still there doing that. So you really got to put that into play. Hey man, I don't know who 14 is, and I feel so sorry for 14. He's had enough of this guy. Because he's thought he's had easy dunks all night, and he has not had one easy dunk. Right here, boom. Just hustling hard. That's just hustle. And this is exactly what Kentucky needed last year, to be all the way honest. Kentucky really needed this last year. Look at him. Eyes locked on. Boom, I'm going to get you. Timing it. Just waiting. And then first one off. Boom. Now, we can say the SEC, SEC's got a little bit more. We can say the SEC is way more athletic, but there's still, you're still going to see this. You're still going to see stuff like this, in my opinion. Just watch. He's going to come in, just waiting. Now, here's my coaching bag for a second. I love how this guy right here, turns him one way. And that's a drill that you do, in high school, where they're coming full court. You got your guy that's trailing them. My thing is this: I've got to turn him one way. So once I'm here, I got to turn him one way. Either I want to turn him this way or turn him this way. That way, he makes his move and he's getting ready to go gather, and I'm watching my big get ready to just swat it like a fly. So I do really, really like that. I like that part. I like that about him. Boom, good. Now hold on 1 second, John. I gotta take this off real quick. Boom. Okay, there we go. Cool. My bad. All right, we're back. That's a hustle. See, that's what I see. This is what Kentucky needs. Good job. Just chasing it down and just not giving up on the play. Now, how many times did we see last year Kentucky give up on a play, or, kind of watch it unfold, or they get a layup? Nah, that's not going to happen this year. This is what I like. I love this. Big body, run, rim run. Look at him. Look at the big. Perfect. And you know what's crazy? I was talking about Marino in I forgot what post it was, and I was talking about Marino can really get easy buckets as long as he rim runs. And could you imagine them two together, literally rim running? You got Marino that's long and athletic, can rim run, and get easy buckets. Then you bring in this beast that can do the exact same thing. Watch. Boom. Take off, big man. Now reward your big man. Reward him. He ran. Boom. Right here. Grown man. Now, I wish he kind of took them both up, but hey, that's fine. But you reward your big man for rim running. Get it there. The only thing I would say is for this guard right here, if I see that big running, boom, I'm hitting him about right there. That's probably where I'm going to hit him. And then he's got all that real estate right there. But for a big man that can run like this is a big thing. Yeah, you a grown man. You are a grown man. Look at him. Look at this. Here we go. Move that body. Boom, get out of my way. Then go straight up. That's, guys, I don't think people fail to realize that how good this could be. Now, mind you, like I said, he was injury prone. I totally understand that, and that's perfectly fine. But when you don't have to play, hold up. When you really, let's see, let's go by the numbers. Let's just go by the numbers real quick. Let me pull those numbers back up. Okay. When you go from playing 22.9 minutes a game last year, then when you go from playing 22 minutes, might drop down just a tad to maybe 20. You're going to be able to give out a little bit more than what you would, in that instance. So I think they've probably been honest with him. Hey, you're going to be backing up, blah, blah, blah. So I think this, I think that'll be fine. All right, let's keep going. right here, scanning, talking. You can even see he's actually even, yelling out. And is that the, okay. You can see he's actually yelling out. Watch him. See his mouth move, talking. Perfect. Now, mind you, yeah, he got beat, but at least I know once I got beat, now I've got this big down there that is at least going to deflect it or make it difficult for that guard to actually get that off. Thought he'd get it off. Boom. Nope, we're good. Staying in the play. Perfect. Look how quick he gets off the floor. I like it. I do. I do like it. I don't think this happens, but what if Marino stays in the draft? This guy play. I don't see him playing 28 minutes. I still don't see him doing that. Like you said, I don't think Marino is, but if he does, if he was per se to stay in the draft, I don't know if you can. You're gonna have to hide a little bit more, hide him just a tad bit, because not being the last couple years have been rough for him. 2024 14 games, 2023 10 games, 18 minutes, 20 minutes. You're gonna have to. This is where it's scary. This is where it's scary because then if you wind up starting him, you could do two things. I'm thinking coach wise, you could do two things. You can still play him 25 minutes, 28 if you got to, but then you play small ball, which small ball really wouldn't be small ball per se because of how big this team actually is. And you put and then you go Zoom. I still don't like Cam starting. That's just me. I don't like Cam starting. I think you need to upgrade that position, even though Pope says Cam is doing phenomenal. And I hope he does. I hope he takes a crazy leap. But then you go, then you would put Cam probably at the Zoom, Alex, Cam. You really could put. Shoot. I'm trying to think how this could work. Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. I'm trying to think how really this could work here. Okay. So you could put Justin probably at the 4 and Usman at the 5 and just run it. Now, they brought Cam back to start for sure. He's going to have to make some. Yeah, he's going to have to take. Yeah, he's going to have to take leaps and bounds of. He's going to have to. He's going to have to grow up. I do think he did good toward that end, but he's going to have to be even better, in my opinion. So you would go Zoom, Alex, Cam, Justin, and Usman at the 5. That would be, let, Frederick, let Frank, you let him relax a little bit. Now, the real question, in my opinion, is what is Braden going to do? Is Braden going to be that player that everyone is saying he is? And, he's phenomenal and all that. That is yet to be seen. It's going to be interesting, though. Then, you actually could bring. Then it just depends. I'm not sleeping on him, but we haven't seen anything. Now, I've heard people rumblings. Oh, he played 1-on-1, and smoked the team. That's great. We know a lot of people that are better 1-on-1 than playing a team game. So, like I said, I want him to be everything that everything that they say he's going to be. If he is, then if he is just like that, then you could technically change this whole freaking lineup. But hey, I'm excited to see that. If he is, and I want to, I low key want to try to get to a practice when they start in the fall. I want to try to get out there. I'm gonna hit somebody up and see if I can sneak in there and watch a practice or two. But I think if that is the case, and if Hawthorne is actually what they say is, this whole lineup can change. This whole lineup can change. Not saying, I'm talking about if Malachi goes to the league, it stays in the draft. I'm just talking about that whole lineup could change. And I think I'd be excited to see. I'm excited to see that part. Let's talk about Marino. Let's talk about his stock. The last draft that I saw the last draft that I saw, I think he was at 31. I want to say he was at 31. He was just in the, there's so many daggone drafts. Let me see here. In the CBS draft right now, they don't even have him in the first round. Now let me go to the ESPN one, which everyone is talking about, I guess. Like I said, I don't really believe in half of these things half the time. Because a lot of these players, oh wow. Oh, they got that. That's rank. Okay. Let's go rounds. Let's go rounds 26. Let me go to the mock draft real quick, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to mock draft. ESPN, NBA mock draft. Yahoo has him at 24. All right, let's see. Let's go ESPN. All right. We all know who's probably going to be the first pick. Okay, as of right now, I'm going ESPN real quick. Damn, ESPN don't even have him in there right now. Where they got him at? Damn. Now, mind you, you say ESPN has him. Yahoo has him at 24. ESPN literally has him at 43rd in the second round. Holy crap. I didn't think he was good. I thought whew. Wow. Like I said, this is why I say I don't really believe in the mock drafts as much at times, because like Wireman says Yahoo has him at 24, ESPN has him at freaking 43. Like, but it's going to be. I think he's going to get a legit shot. It's up to him. But if he's on that lower between, in my opinion, if he's at anywhere between 25 and lower, 27, maybe 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I think you come back, you improve your draft stock, and then you get up there toward that, that lottery level, which I think he can. And how do you do that? By playing against this monster every day, learning how to be physical, learning how to, take contact and do all those things. This is where you sharpen your tool. This is where you legitimately, like, imagine Malachi coming in and trying to dunk in practice this easy. Now mind you, I'm not saying that he's trying to dunk, but just imagine this. Boom. And you're going up against that grown man. It's going to be very telling to see, what he does. I'm going to be watching it very, very closely to see. I think he comes back? Yes. I think he comes back. the same way, and the same way we get to, kind of hear about, what the GM say to do, what the GM say to kind of improve on and all of that. But I'm going to use the KSR thing for a second. I mean, this is technically the roster as of right now. I do like it. And people think I'm crazy all the time saying that this roster is a little bit better than last year's. This roster is a little bit more constructed better than last year. If you look at the point guard, you have literally 2 point guards you can pick from to play and a backup. You have a upgraded Malachi. Now you could say you would take Ortega over Cam, which I'm just throwing Cam in the 3 spot. And I truly understand that. That's no brainer. We do need that star. We do need that, that shooter. I do think, your back line is a little bit better, in my opinion. This roster is you've got shooting coming off the bench and a solid ball handler that can actually handle the ball. You got a backup big that is a monster down there. So I do think this roster is a little bit of constructed better. Now, if the monster does go down and you have to go to Reese Potter or whatnot, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. One person that's going to be very interesting is seeing Trent Noah. Is Trent Noah actually going to show up this year and actually hit some shots when you need him to? Because there's going to be times that you're going to need him to come in and hit some big shots. And when we say big shots, I don't mean like down 1 with 5 seconds left and he's got to hit the shot. I'm talking about like those games, like maybe you're down 4 or 5 and he hits a 3 like with 12 minutes to go in the game, and that's a little momentum boost for Kentucky. I think that's where you're going to see him, kind of get his pocket minutes if he's in the rotation. We'll see. I do want to see him do good. Kentucky kid. You got your 2 down here. Well, you got your 1 down here that actually is is a project, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're there to get better every day, and it's like an investment. You know what I'm saying? It's an investment that you're going to invest into him, both of them, and getting better each day. Pushing them and getting them ready for when their time calls. And I think at the end of the day, yes, baby, it's my dog, guys. I think it's a good thing. I do like the roster. I do. Let's see what else was there. Did the video break down? And you know what, guys? That's pretty much it for the day. To be honest, like I said, I just want to come on here, give a nice little show. And I know everyone's got, Mother's Day activities, with the mothers and all of that. So I don't want to keep everybody too long. I actually got to go see my mom before she yells at me. Me and Sophie got her a Mother's Day gift that we're going to go over there and deliver to her soon. But guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We will be back Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're going to go 7 to 9. I'm going to be. Do you think we have a shot at? Yes, I do. I do think we do. I do think we have a shot at him. It just depends on where he decides to go. It just depends really on what he wants to do. We do have that lump sum of money that we had from, not all of it. Let me just say this. We don't have the whole money we have from Tyron Stokes, but I do think we have plenty of money to give to him to be like, hey, if you want to come, here's that money. And I think that'd be, the ball's in his court. He decides if he wants to come back. I mean, if he wants to, come back to college, cool. We got this bag of money. If not, and you want to, when you stay in the draft, it's your choice. I do think we have a legitimate shot, and I think he is good for Pope's system. That's one of those kids that is actually legitimately could be really good in Pope's system, which is kind of wild to say. It really is wild to say. But guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will be back Tuesday. We'll be covering everything. Guys, love y'all. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.